Hey, welcome to Glazing with AMACO. I do have a couple people here watching with me. We're on YouTube today because we're having some technical issues with Facebook. But today is a little bit different. Instead of glazing with AMACO, today we're going to talk about clay. So AMACO has a new premium clay series called the Chocolates, and I'm going to show you some things about it today. So I have Sherry McCullough from Arkansas and Sheila Steelman joining us live on YouTube, and thanks for joining us. As I said, we're not going to be on Facebook today. We will hopefully be back on Facebook in 2 weeks, and I'm going to share this stream with our Facebook group later after it ends. So hopefully everything will work out. So what I wanted to tell you guys about today, we have come out with a new clay series. The premium clays are number 16 white chocolate. Here we go. I'm going to see if I can do a little close-up. Here is white chocolate. This is cone 5, no glaze, clear glaze, and snow, C10. We have number 30. This is milk chocolate. You can see it is a deep brown color. This is unglazed, clear glaze, and snow. And our dark chocolate. As I said, these are all fired to cone 5. Unglazed, clear glaze, white glaze. These are a porcelaneous stoneware. I'm actually drinking out of a mug today that is the dark chocolate. You can see as I spill on myself. So it's the dark chocolate. You can see the foot, dark chocolate. And this has been glazed with the phase glazes. And as I said in our previous video where I talked about the phase glazes, these are very opaque glazes, so they don't really show the color of the clay. But I do have another item that I can show you. I'm going to go back to the close-up. This is hard to see because our close-up is so close. But this is the dark chocolate with honey flux on it. Isn't that pretty? Beautiful, beautiful color. And it shows the texture really nicely. Honey flux does. And you can see it's glazed inside as well as outside, all with honey flux. Now, you're probably wondering what is special about these clays and why did we feel a need to create new clay bodies. And there are several things about the chocolates that are extremely special. They are porcelaneous stonewares. So they are very, very smooth. They're great for throwing. You can also hand build with them. They are manganese-free. So most black and dark brown clay bodies that you will see are actually achieved with the use of manganese, which can create some problems with some glazes. Manganese can create blistering. It can also create some bubbling in some glazes. I've seen results where it's difficult to get a really nice smooth finish with a manganese-bearing clay body. So this has an advantage in that these are black and dark brown clay bodies that are completely manganese-free. The white chocolate is the light version of them. They are also vitreous at cone 6. It's kind of hard to show, but can you hear this is full of of water, so it is not going to sound quite as light. Let me try it with the other mug. That one does not have the nice ringing tone. Let's see. They are very vitreous. This one has been fired to cone 5, just came out of the kiln this morning. So they range from 5 to 7. We had a lot of concern about people who wanted a really, really vitreous clay body that fit AMACO glazes, and that is the special thing, is that these clays fit AMACO glazes, or AMACO glazes fit these clays perfectly, so that you do not have to worry about crazing or shivering when using our glazes. So one concern that we frequently have is about the celadons, and the celadons actually have, this is, let me show on the close-up. This is actually maybe difficult to see. This is actually an underglaze decal, and a lot of times manganese clays eat the underglazes so that you don't really see like a white underglaze on a black clay body. But this is an underglaze decal applied to our dark chocolate, and this side has mixing clear over it, and you can see it is very crisp even underneath the glaze. It's hard to show you, but there's no crazing in that. I'll have some other things as well in a moment. So the glazes are made to, the clays are made to fit the glazes. So, and that is really the ideal thing about these clays. So you can have a cone 5 vitreous clay body that fits AMACO celadons. It fits all of the other glazes that we make. One of the things that I brought this in for is this is Albany slip brown, which sometimes some clay bodies can have shivering. If it's a dark, heavy iron clay body, we have sometimes seen shivering with Albany slip brown. Doesn't fit all clay bodies. But here we are on the dark chocolate, and this is iron yellow and Albany slip brown, and there is no shivering on the rim. That's where you're most likely to see shivering, and it's perfect. So I don't see any questions coming in, so I'm going to show you some more pieces. We have the chocolate bars. This is white chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate. These are all fired to cone 5 with mixing clear on them. I also wanted to show some of our favorite combos. This is cone 6, and it is ancient copper. So do keep in mind that not all glazes are going to look exactly the same as you would expect. Ancient copper often has crystal floats at cone 6, but at cone 6 on the dark chocolate, it is just a beautiful metallic coppery glaze. Look at that. And then this is the teal drift phase glaze on the rim. So ancient copper is a favorite by for a lot of people, but you're not going to get as much of the crystal surface. So keep that in mind. But gorgeous, look at that. Let's see. You might be wondering how the phase glazes look over different chocolates, or I'm sorry, not phase glazes, the PCs, the Potter's Choice. This is Honey Flux on dark chocolate. I'm going to switch to close-up for all of these. So honey flux on dark chocolate, on white chocolate, and on milk chocolate. Honey flux on the chocolates. You can see how it breaks really beautifully. And then I have some other samples. Let's see, this is seaweed on milk chocolate, seaweed on white chocolate, seaweed on dark chocolate, and sometimes some people have noticed that high iron clays can make seaweed come out black. It is very dark, and I'm not sure if you can see with the lighting, but they are not black or metallic. They are still very, very green on our chocolate clays. I also have iron luster on milk chocolate and deep firebrick on dark chocolate. Look at those. Rich, rich colors. Absolutely gorgeous. I also wanted to show how they look with the satin mattes. For those of you who use satin matte glazes, this is SM42 moss, SM60 goldenrod, and SM24 seafoam. And you can see the satin mattes, they don't get any bubbles, they don't get any kind of staining, just really crisp color. Could you do a ponding technique using only AMACO glazes? Are you asking about the frozen pond? So these are the Cosmos over dark chocolate. This one is Solar Rainbow. Look at that result. Now these are not glazed on the inside. And this one is Solar Flare. Really beautiful results with the Cosmos glazes. And I also use them for doing some jewelry. This is the satin matte. You've already seen that, seafoam. Phase glaze with a decal. Teal drift. Here is honey flux again. This is lustrous jade on dark chocolate. And this is, I know it's so tiny, this is the wasabi celadon. The celadons actually show up really, really beautifully on the chocolate clays, but I will have to show you at another time. Here is Cosmic Oil Spot. Let's see if we can see the sparkly. Yes, the frozen pond technique, Sheila. Yes, you can do the frozen pond technique with AMACO glazes using honey flux instead of running hot chowder. That would be the Kathy McGuire frozen pond method. And it is the honey flux doesn't run quite as much as running hot chowder does, so I put on more and I put the dots closer together, and it works pretty well. So yes, you can do the frozen pond technique with AMACO glazes. So I also wanted to show you tests using velvet underglaze. This is the white velvet underglaze on dark chocolate clay. with a clear glaze over. And these are 3 coats of underglaze applied when it was wet, applied when it was bone dry, and applied to bisque. All worked really well. Beautiful. And this is a platter that was done with underglazes on milk chocolate. Sorry, the close-up is so close that you can't actually see all of it, but here we go. Different colors. These were applied with a silk screen. So, questions that I anticipated were, why are these packaged differently? So the chocolate clays are packaged in a 20-pound box in 4 5-pound bags. So small 5-pound bags. And there are a couple reasons for this. One of them being a premium clay. We don't want your clay to dry out too quickly, and it makes it also a lot easier to handle. So we have our 5-pound blocks. So you can work with a smaller amount of clay at a time. It makes it a lot easier to carry. I also anticipated that people might ask, why are these more expensive? And it's simply because of the highest quality materials that we used in making these. As I said, these are porcelaneous stonewares, and we worked very hard to make sure that they met our highest standards for making a vitreous porcelaneous stoneware. So another question that I anticipated people asking is, why is manganese-free important? And as I said, manganese can sometimes cause blistering and bubbling in your glazes. So these being manganese-free, you don't have to worry about your glazes looking maybe not ideal. They will look the same whether they're on a white clay body or on a black clay body if you're using our dark chocolate. What if they are hard right out of the box? I'm going to go back and answer a question that came in online. Sheila asked, does your dark clay bloat at cone 6? My kiln sometimes fires hot, but not to a 7. And Sheila, we have not had bloating at cone 7, and we have fired these to a hot cone 6 consistently, and I have not seen any bloating. So give them a try, see what you think. That is one of the other advantages, is that we do not have the bloating, but yes, they are made to go to cone 7. Cone 5 to 7 is their ideal range. Cone 6 is what they are meant to be fired to. So if you open your box and your clay feels hard, it might feel a little hard. These clays are thixotropic, as are most porcelains, and so they might feel. What we recommend is to slam it on the table or even on the floor a couple of times, and it softens it right up. They are thixotropic is a word that means a material that, even though it feels stiff, once it gets a short, sharp shock, it becomes more liquid. So, if you, it looks like we are out of time. Sorry, we got a late start today. But if you find that you're going to make something out of the AMACO clays, if you have tried them, if you're going to try them, please tag us on social media with hashtag AMACOBrent, hashtag HowIAMACO, and let us know. You can find the premium clays at a distributor near you. And if they do not currently have them, you can ask them to carry them. Thank you for joining me on my clay and glaze adventures, and I will see you in 2 weeks.